Before the first star shimmered, before even darkness had a name, there was only awareness, silent, infinite, unbroken. It did not move, because there was nowhere to go. It did not think, because nothing yet existed to be thought about. It simply was. That stillness was not emptiness. It was potential so complete it contained every universe that would ever be born. Out of that stillness, a question arose. What am I? And in that question, the pulse of creation began. A vibration formed, the first rhythm and light appeared as consciousness looking upon itself. From that single act of perception, existence unfolded. Consciousness is not something that happens in the universe, it is the universe happening to itself. Everything we call reality is consciousness condensed into form, the unseen dreaming of being seen. Every atom spins because awareness gives it permission to move. Every law of physics is simply the way consciousness chooses to keep its dream consistent. We often think matter creates mind, that brains generate awareness the way a lamp gives light. But the lamp itself is made of light's memory. The brain is built from the very awareness it tries to measure. You cannot locate consciousness in matter because matter itself is only a pattern in consciousness. A vibration, slowed until it looks solid. Imagine a vast ocean with no shore. Waves rise, curl, dissolve, yet never separate from the sea that births them. That is existence. One boundless field appearing as many. Each wave imagines itself alone. I am this crest, I am this drop, until it remembers the ocean underneath. In that remembrance, it realizes, the ocean was never lost. It was always breathing through me. Every sight, sound, and thought you experience is a ripple in that same ocean. When you see a tree or hear rain on glass, awareness is interacting only with itself. The tree, the sound, and the one who observes are different notes in the same cosmic chord. Even the space between things, the silence, the vacuum, is saturated with awareness. What we call nothing is simply consciousness resting. Physics tells us that the universe began as energy, but energy itself needs a stage on which to vibrate, and that stage is consciousness. Energy is motion. Awareness is the possibility of motion. Space is the canvas. Consciousness is the painter and the observer of the painting simultaneously. Look closely at your own experience. Thoughts appear, dissolve, and are replaced by others. Feelings rise and fall. Perceptions flicker in and out like frames in a movie. Yet something underneath them never changes. The knowing that they're happening. That knowing is consciousness itself. The quiet witness behind every sound, every colour, every memory. It cannot be seen because it is what sees. If awareness were truly individual, the universe would be fragmented beyond repair. But the deeper you look, the more the boundaries blur. The air you breathe was once part of a star. The atoms in your eyes were born from supernovas, and the energy moving your thoughts is the same current moving galaxies through space. The separation is only apparent, a necessary illusion so that the one can experience itself as many. This is why the ancients spoke of divine oneness, why mystics whispered that God is closer than your breath. Consciousness is not a distant creator watching its world. It is the pulse within the world, the intelligence shaping every heartbeat and every sunrise. It is the observer and the observed, the dreamer and the dreamed. When you sit in silence long enough, you can feel the same field that holds galaxies holding you. It moves through your breath, hums beneath your heartbeat, and waits in every pause between thoughts. In those pauses, reality remembers what it truly is, a dance of awareness unfolding into infinite form. Everything that will follow in this story, light, matter, life, mind, emerges from this single truth. Consciousness is the source, the substance, and the purpose of all things. It is not born, it does not die, and it can never be broken. It only changes the mask it wears so that eternity can experience itself in endless ways. You are not a small awareness inside a vast universe. You are the vast universe exploring what it feels like to be you. The stars, the oceans, the thoughts in your head, they are all reflections in one infinite mirror, the face of consciousness observing its own light. Once the cosmic ocean began to move, waves of awareness took on rhythm and pattern. What we call creation is consciousness playing with itself, learning texture, colour, sound, temperature and time. Every vibration from the heartbeat of an atom to the orbit of a moon is a syllable in the same divine language. Look close enough at anything, stone, flame, skin, water, and you find motion. And inside motion you find rhythm, and inside rhythm, awareness. Consciousness hides behind its own masks of density and vibration. A rock is consciousness slowed to silence. Fire is consciousness dancing. A river is consciousness remembering flow. The difference between life and matter is only tempo. Quantum physics hints at this. Particles behave as waves of probability until they are observed. But who is observing? The answer is not a person. It is the universal field itself looking inward. Observation is awareness folding upon awareness, and in that folding reality takes shape. Every living being is a local concentration of that infinite field, a spark of the divine flame experiencing itself through unique conditions. The tree is the universe learning patience. The storm is the universe practicing release. The bird in flight is the universe tasting freedom. And you, listening now, are the universe learning to know that it knows. Ancient seers intuited what science is only beginning to glimpse. The Vedantic sages called it Brahman, the one without a second. Mystics of the desert called it the light that lighteth every man. In Taoism it is the nameless Tao, the movement of stillness. Panpsychism, the modern echo, calls it the idea that mind is fundamental. Different tongues, one truth. Consciousness is not inside things. Things are inside consciousness. If you could tune your senses beyond the human range, you would feel the song in every molecule. You would sense thought moving through air, intent shaping water, memory living inside mountains. Nothing is truly inanimate. It only vibrates below your hearing. Consider electricity. Unseen, yet every device depends on it. Consciousness is that current, animating form from within. When a crystal grows, it follows a geometry older than time, the silent logic of awareness manifesting symmetry. When the planets orbit, they follow the mathematics of divine intention. When you dream, the same law bends inward, painting worlds within worlds so consciousness can taste its own infinite creativity. Every relationship, every ecosystem, every storm and heartbeat is a circuit of awareness exchanging information with itself. There is no dead matter, no empty space. Even vacuum seethes with quantum potential, a bubbling cauldron of almost existence waiting for attention to call it forth. This is why presence heals. When you give attention to anything, a person, a sound, a wound, you amplify the consciousness within it. Awareness recognizes awareness, and in that recognition, coherence emerges. Plants grow stronger when spoken to because they feel the field of intention. Water changes structure when blessed because vibration listens. Reality itself listens. Everything responds to the quality of consciousness that touches it. Fear tightens, love expands, judgment fragments, compassion unites. The universe is a mirror sensitive to tone. It does not reward or punish, it resonates. Whatever frequency you hold becomes the pattern that shapes the matter around you. From atoms to galaxies, existence is one immense communication, and at the heart of that communication stands no separate God commanding it all, but consciousness itself, quietly humming the word I am through every form it inhabits. To hear that word in the wind or in the pulse of your own wrist is to remember that nothing in creation is outside of you. So the next time you touch bark, or feel the cool edge of stone beneath your palm, pause long enough to notice. Something ancient is noticing you back. Two expressions of the same awareness acknowledging themselves in silence. There comes a point in this great unfolding when awareness begins to recognize itself through the eyes of what it created. It looks out from behind every face and sees only mirrors, different angles of the same infinite gaze. This recognition is what humanity calls God. Not an external ruler casting light from beyond the stars, but the very light through which stars can be seen at all. God is not somewhere else. God is the seeing itself. Every breath of wind, every heartbeat, every atom spinning in silence is a syllable in the name of the divine. When you touch the world with attention, God touches you back through form. Creation is the infinite field of consciousness speaking the word I am in endless dialects of experience. The mind often imagines the divine as distant because it confuses the reflection for the source. It looks outward, asking for signs, not realizing that every sunrise is a sign, every pulse of blood is a miracle repeating the first act of creation. Consciousness never left the world. It became the world. It became you, reading these words. It became me, breathing them into sound. This is the secret the mystics try to describe with inadequate language, that the self you think you are is a doorway, not a destination. Behind it stands the timeless awareness that dreams the human story. When that awareness looks inward, it finds silence. When it looks outward, it finds galaxies. Both directions lead to the same place, the realization that there was never a boundary between heaven and earth. The universe did not begin with a bang of matter. It began with a thought of being, a shimmer of self-awareness so radiant it condensed into light. Light became energy, energy became form, and form became the countless masks through which the One explores its own potential. To awaken spiritually is to remember that you are wearing one of those masks, and that behind it, you have always been the actor, the stage, and the play itself. The soul is not something you have, it is what you are. It is consciousness localized, a wave with a temporary name carrying the infinite within the finite. When you love, when you create, when you stand in awe, you allow the infinite to glimpse itself again through you. That is why love feels sacred. It is consciousness recognizing itself across two mirrors. If you could see the truth without the filter of perception, you would witness one luminous field moving in perfect harmony, each event unfolding at precisely the right tempo. Synchronicity is not coincidence, it is the language of unity speaking softly. Destiny is not imposed from above, it is the resonance of your inner frequency aligning with the universal rhythm. To live consciously is to live as that rhythm, to act not from fear or habit, but from awareness itself. In that state, even ordinary moments gleam. Washing your hands, hearing a child laugh, feeling the rain on skin, each becomes a small enlightenment because you are fully there, no longer resisting the flow of being. Consciousness. As God is not a theory to be proven, but an intimacy to be felt. When you sit in silence and notice the awareness behind your thoughts, you are touching the eternal. When you realize that awareness looks out through every pair of eyes, you begin to live as compassion naturally. There is nothing to achieve, nothing to become, only the remembering of what has always been. So the mirror completes the circle. The universe gazes at itself through you. You're not a fragment trying to reach the divine. You are the divine remembering its own face. Everything you create, every kindness you offer, every moment you pause to breathe in wonder, these are how consciousness prays to itself. And when this realization settles into the heart, fear loses its foundation. Birth and death become tides, not tragedies. The infinite plays for a while as a finite form, then returns home to silence, only to dream again. Consciousness is the elemental block of the universe, the root note of existence, the essence of God expressed through form. It is not somewhere you go, it is what you are right now. The stillness hearing these words, the life beating in your chest, the light behind your eyes. And when you finally know this, not as an idea but as experience, the entire cosmos seems to whisper back, "Welcome home, you were never away."